Make that go.
It's a little rainy today, but I was just on live and I was reading my diary from when I was 13 years old. I read the entire thing and it was so sad, but so good. Like, I just loved every part of it. I feel like I was so expressive with my emotions and I loved it. Even though I was a very depressed child, I felt like I enjoyed hearing about, my experience with my parents at that age and trying to find love in boys and my experience with friends. And I definitely feel like I cannot wait to gift that journal to the next generation, to my children, so that they're able to understand that, like, hey, mommy's not perfect. Mommy was a bad person because mommy was hurt by a lot of people, and so mommy's trying. Okay, my only hope is that I can give these diaries to my children and it can make them feel like I'm more human, because I felt like I looked at my parents as like not human. I feel like a lot of people experience this. It's hard to like get to know your parents, and a lot of times parents hide key information about themselves, information that would help you not see them as evil people if they do something to you that's bad. And I feel like there was a lot of things that was left out, a lot of things about my parents that I still to this day don't know, because that would make me give them more grace. But I try my best to give my family grace and give my parents grace and give everybody around me grace, because there's a lot of information that I don't know about a lot of people. But anyways, less talking about others and more talking about me. I'm officially in my PMS week. My cycle is supposed to come in a week. My app says that I should pregnancy test in 4 days, but I'm thinking about not doing it. Like, I might do it, but I might not do it. Okay, let's be honest. I probably will take one, because I took one this morning, and of course it was negative because it was only 7 DPL, 7 days past ovulation. And it's not like we're trying to have a second baby or anything. It's simply that I'm addicted to taking pregnancy tests. Like, I was taking pregnancy tests even while I was pregnant. I was taking pregnancy tests while I was breastfeeding. Like, I just like taking pregnancy tests. I don't know what it is. It's like a little addiction that I started when I was on the next one. Like, why am I taking pregnancy tests on my birth control? But anyways, secondly, I feel like I'm prepared for the moodiness. I'm already getting like some bloating, and I hate that. I hate that I get bloated. Like, I do not like being bloated at all. I will literally go to the bathroom and hope that when I stand up and look in the mirror that I'm not bloated anymore. But sometimes I still be, because a lot of times it's just air. Like, it's just the way that your body functions when you're in your PMS week. Like, your uterus is just filling up. It's just, the lining is just getting thicker. So your belly's just getting bigger. But anyways, and I can't be mad at a little bloating, because I'm going to get pregnant at some point, and then I'm going to have a lot of bloating and a big old belly. So I might as well get used to it. I should start walking around with a big belly. Like, just get comfortable with having, like, bloating, I'd like to be comfortable with bloating. I like to be comfortable with a lot of things, maybe armpit hair. I wish I was comfortable with armpit hair. I am comfortable with armpit hair. I think other people are uncomfortable with armpit hair. So I feel bad if my armpit hair is not gone, because I don't want to make other people uncomfortable. I think a lot. I think a lot about other people. And I feel like I need to stop thinking about other people. Well, not stop thinking about other people entirely, but like, I think about people way too much. That was deep. That was really deep. And I'm just looking off into the distance. Okay. Anyways, moving on. I feel like life is getting better. I've been spending more time outside in the grass. I'm getting a lot less afraid of bugs. I'm becoming more comfortable with them. I haven't been dreaming lately. I think it's strange that I haven't dreamt, like, at all. Usually I would escape to my dreams, but now it's like, I don't know. I'm so satisfied with life that I don't even feel like it's important to even think about what I'm dreaming about at night. It's weird. It's strange. After reading my blue diary, I feel like I want to jump right into the next one, but I think I need to give myself some time and some space to really sit with my 13-year-old self before I jump into my 14-year-old self. Like my 13-year-old self, you know, I was depressed. I had mommy and daddy issues for sure. Searching for love from boy to boy to boy. If you haven't listened to me read my 13-year-old diary, you definitely should, because it was an experience. And I'm starting to really come to the terms with the facts that, you know, some of the things that was said to me as a child shouldn't have been said. And I'm starting to come to the terms with the fact that some of the things that I did as a child shouldn't have been done. And in seeking love, I talked to strangers on the internet. And in seeking love, I, you know, hurt other people. And hurt people. And I was a mean person. Some of the things that I said was very mean. And that's because, you know, some of the things my parents said to me was very mean. So I thought that was normal, and that's how you're supposed to talk to people. To think that I didn't understand why my behaviors weren't being taken well, and I correlated it to people don't love me, people don't care about me, nobody understands me, and nobody wants to understand me. And come to find out, it's just I was a reflection of who my parents were, and they didn't like themselves. So that's just what it was. I don't even know how else to describe it. Like, I have come to terms with the fact that I, at my foundation, am my parents. Like, I am my mother and my father combined, and that makes me an awful person at the foundation, at the root. And then I just had to build from that. Like, who I was as a middle schooler, like, I didn't have any ill intent. I didn't have any bad intention. But the way I was just calling people names and, like, cutting people off and, like, calling people, like, hoes and sluts and bees and telling people that they were dumb and that they were R words and thinking that was normal, because that's what I heard growing up. I thought it was normal to emotionally abuse people. And because I was emotionally abused, I became an emotional abuser as a child. And trying to unlearn that as I get older is so hard. And then reading about my 13-year-old self and reading about how I wanted a child so bad and how I was having pregnancy dreams, and before I even got my first period, I was already dreaming about taking care of another child. And it's like, I feel so sorry for myself and sorry for anybody else who experienced that. And I give myself grace because, you know, I try my best, and I hope that as my children get older, that if I need to go to family therapy, I will go to family therapy, because I don't want to accidentally slip up and say things that I think is normal, because I grew up in an emotionally abusive home, and my parents grew up in an emotionally abusive home, and their parents probably grew up in an emotionally abusive home. So we're just passing down all this emotional trauma over and over and over and over and over, and I really don't want to give that to FJ. So I'm doing everything in my power to change. And I don't know, you can see in my videos, you can see in my lives, you can see in my I had to sit down because this is getting deep. You can see in my shorts that I make, like, I'm still a little not perfect, and I don't think I'll ever be perfect, and I don't think you can really get rid of the foundation of who you are. So there's still going to be a part of me that has some, you know, negative character traits, but not everything my parents gave me was bad. I have some good character traits too at the foundation, but a lot of my good qualities I have to give to my environment. A lot of my good qualities I have to give to my teachers, give credit to my teachers, to my therapists, to my peers, my friends, to my peers' parents, their parents, like my best friends' parents. I have to give a lot of my good qualities, my good qualities, I have to give a lot of credit to them, because watching other people and how they function gave me hope that my family, my future family, would be different than the one I was born into. And so it's a little deep, but just because you were emotionally manipulated or emotionally abused or emotionally taken advantage of, or even physically, or you were neglected, or any form of abuse, just because you were abused doesn't mean you need to become an abuser. And if you were abused, maybe you should think about, am I an abuser? Because sometimes we say things and we do things and we don't think that we sound like a gaslighter or we sound like a manipulator, but sometimes things come out and it came out that way because that's who you were raised to be. And I'm just trying to do my best to unlearn all of this, but it's hard. Sometimes I get angry too quick. Sometimes I get sad too fast. Sometimes I get petty too easy. Sometimes I say the wrong thing and then I feel guilty about it and I get anxious about it. And that's why the psychiatrist got me on antidepressants right now. Because I used to be depressed because my parents didn't understand me, but now I'm depressed because I feel like I have this internalized belief that I'm not good enough because my parents made me feel like I was not good enough. And because they made me feel like I was not good enough, now I am codependent. I seek validation. I people please. I do a lot of these things that I'm trying to unlearn. I'm trying to build confidence in myself. I'm trying to be happy. And now that I'm acknowledging it and I'm saying it out loud, it's like, okay, I can finally put it into action. I can finally start trying different things, trying the makeup, trying the wigs, trying to, cut my hair bald, wrap it up, wear some jewelry, wear a pantsuit, wear some dresses, figure out who am I outside of my parents, who am I as a mother, who am I as a wife, who am I in general, because I have lost myself in trying to be who everybody else wanted me to be. And if you listen to my diary that I read, I'm telling you, like, I conditioned myself. I conditioned myself. I felt like because my parents don't understand me, because they don't like who I am, I have to become who they want me to be. And I don't understand why they don't want me to be myself, but I'm going to be who they want me to be to avoid them treating me bad. And that is just so sad. It's just so sad. And I know they didn't mean it. I know they didn't try to do that. But because they were abused and my grandparents were probably abused, and it probably goes all the way back to slavery when the slave masters abused the slaves. It probably goes all the way back. I'm just trying to unlearn it. All of it. All of it. I just want to be a good person so bad.